This clock is supposed to have 3 lighting levels, but I am only getting 2. Bright and very dim. I don't use the bright because it's very bright at night, so during the day on dim it's impossible to read the time on the ceiling. It's very lightweight and small. You'd think it would be heavier, so every time it's bumped it moves and I have to readjust the position so the time projection is in the right place on the ceiling. Sometimes at night the time disappears, but I understand that so it can reconnect with the atomic clock. I'd give it a total of 3 stars, meaning it's average. Really expected more, but so far I can't find it. Decent clock, but a buyer's note. You have to fully set it up to get any of the features to work. Otherwise it thinks it is in battery mode, and always runs too dim and won't look for the atomic signal. I almost sent mine back because it would go totally dim after 20 seconds. Setting it up, setting time zone, C, F, etc., fixed this. That said, once set up, it runs nicely. The LCD is bright and can be read from 20 away, the outdoor thermometer has good range, and the projection is decently bright, albeit a tad small. I've owned several Crosse atomic clocks and been mostly happy with them, even though the remote temperature sensors quit working after a couple of years. This clock packs everything I am looking for in a very compact size. The pros. The dim mode is low enough that I am not sleeping with my face next to a nightlight. The projected time works well, and can be adjusted by 90-degree increments. Inside and outside temp gauges works like a charm, even at a distance, through the walls of the house. Battery backup and DST with atomic res. Display shows the month and date in a reasonably well laid out display, using different colors for clarity. USB plug in the back for charging your phone or Apple Watch. Cons. Small buttons, close together, mean it takes a while to initially figure it out and get it set. Also, it would be nice to have 2 USB plug-ins in the front, or even a Qi charging pad. Otherwise, I am happy with the clock. So much so I ordered 2 more for our guest bedrooms. As advertised. The plugged in and within a couple minutes it down the temperature through the atomic clock feature. Put the batteries in, screwed the sensor outside on my windowsill and tells the indoor and outdoor temperatures. The LED projection for the light and temperature gets a little fuzzy if you shined on the ceiling, but it's still definitely readable. The face is dimmable for nighttime. And the displays is big enough to read from across the room. This is my second Crosse 616-146 projection clock. This one replacing a very old projection clock from another manufacturer. This display and projection is much brighter than my previous clock, but I knew I'd like this display because I have it in our cabin bedroom. The projection is clear, easily read when I wake. I like knowing the time and outside temp without having to fully wake, so I can catch a few more ZZZZZs. Setup instructions are clear and easy. We live close to the Fort Collins, Colorado atomic clock, so we receive the signal quickly. The clock picked up the daylight savings adjustment accurately and has held the correct time in the 3 months since we received it. Our cabin clock of the same model has been accurate on solar power for over 5 years. I'll definitely purchase again. I bought this clock in May 2019, so I have had it for well over a year, and I love it. The clock is very easy to set up and clearly projects the time and outside temperature, in large red characters, onto my white, 10-foot ceiling. Time and temperature rotate at 10-second intervals, and it is so nice to wake up in the morning to immediately get this information by simply looking at the ceiling. Also, the outside thermometer has held up very well, even though it is always outside in the elements. My only complaint, if you can call it that, is that when the time changes, from, to daylight savings time, the clock does not update immediately, like my other atomic clock does. In fact, it may not update until the next day. I don't know why. But if I don't want to wait, I just manually change the time. And when the atomic time kicks in, I just manually change it back. Not a big deal, since this happens only twice a year. I recommend buying it. For the most part, this clock does everything I wanted it to do. It displays the time, the indoor temperature and the outdoor temperature along with the day and date. I like that you can project time only or time and temp onto the walls or ceiling. Very helpful. The first night I used it, the sucker jumped back an hour because I had forgotten to adjust for daylight savings time. Click link in description for more reviews.